Another beautiful morning, guys. Welcome once again to our YouTube channel. Church Steve is my YouTube name. So, welcome for the new viewers and for the returning subscribers. May God bless you. So, today we start a very beautiful day in the morning. The rains have rained, we harvested water. Also, as a daily routine in our African home, the day starts as my wife is going to milk our cows. She's called Justine Steve. You can check her on her YouTube channel also. It's been a rainy season, so in the evening you leave to sleep while it's not raining, but during the night the rains, and it's a blessing from our Father Heaven. So we are quite receiving heavy rainfalls here in Kenya and maybe other sides of the countries. Here is where our cows usually sleep, so she's ready to remove one of the cows and start milking. First of all, we have to put off our lights because there were security lights in the night. During the day, we have to put them off. It's quite dark inside because also the light from outside are affecting the lights from inside, because the light inside it's quite dark. The calves sleep separately from their cows to avoid them from taking milk, because we have to harvest the milk during in the morning, because the milk we use it for selling and some for our daily use, as for the tea, breakfast tea, and also other uses. So here is the milking point. At this log of the tree she have to tie it there, and when she's tying it, the calf is enjoying sucking the milk from her mother to allow it the milk to come so that she can milk it. This is a daily African woman routine in the countryside, more so to those who have cows. First of all, when you wake up, the first thing you do is to milk the cows early in the morning for the community to have the breakfast tea. So my wife usually does it because our mom is not with us. She's the one also that have been doing it initially, but right now she was ill and she went for further medication. Now my wife is doing it all. So she does it severally, not only one cow, but we have the 3 milking cows that she always do it daily. This happens in the morning and in the evening before the cows are set to sleep in their cattle dip. We do it manually because we don't have machines to milk our cows. So in the local way of milking, this is how our African women do it while bending their backs down to milk the cows. Meanwhile, life in the countryside is so nice. We enjoy the sweet voices of the birds in our trees, trying to indicate that it's a morning for everyone to wake up and start a day fresh. In everyone's life, you have got a dream that you always wish to make and for it to come prosperous. Like to our sides, we have our bricks here that we intend to build our guest house because we usually receive many visitors, but yet we haven't started it because of finance that we don't have by now. But yet when we have it, the project starts and it will be going on. So outside our compound also we have our maize farm here. You can see how good it's doing and the progress on our maize farm because the rains have rained. Yet now it's a cloudy day and everything it's very quiet. Also we have the poles of electricity that were installed by electricians, Kenya Power, but yet they're not promising, they haven't come to install the cable so that we can have electricity. It's a big challenge to our side because we use solars and solar system it's not that sufficient regardless of the condition of the weather right now, which it's raining in any moment, so we don't receive more sunlight for the solars to charge the batteries so that we have efficient time now to make the second cow. Here she's coming with it to the milking point. He's done with the first one. To some cows are quite aggressive. That's the reason you find us tying up their legs to avoid jumping up and down, and they can smear even milk down. So you have to tie them up so that they have a firm standing. After milking, you have to release the calf now, enjoy her mother's milk so that for it to grow healthy. Now it's a turn for the third cow, and which will be also the last one for milking in this morning of today. With us in our compound, we have our sister-in-law Happiness, who is helping us with some slight work. Like right now, she's doing some washing in our compound. Also, because of the rainy season, you can also see the termites are trying to build their nest on our mom's house, which is a veranda. So, as a responsible person, man in the compound, I have to counter check everything and remove them because they are not that good in the houses. Water harvesting is the key point in our compound because the rains are raining, so we really have big tanks of water here that we are harvesting water from our roofs. The water is used for our homestead in a daily washing clothes, drinking, and even cooking. For some, we also give our cattle during the sunny time. After milking, now she have to measure the quantity of what she's going to sell and what she's going to leave for the family for breakfast, guys. This is the most enjoyable part of our village because everything we get it raw and we just harvest milk from our cows and we take it, guys. You see? So in everything that you are reading back in the compound and in your homestead, it have to be useful. Like the cows provide milk, some of the bulls helps you in plowing, and also you can even sell them to have some money.
Hey. Ala.
Now here, after she has completed milking, it's where now the turn of a man comes in the community and in the family. It's my time now to take care of the cows, make sure that they go have a good place of grazing, and maybe later on I will go back and exchange them because where they are grazing right now, they will have stepped and there are some muds, so that they have a fresh place of eating. So because it's very much raining, I have to use my gumboots, my safety boots, because of the water and the mud at the place that I'm going to take them to graze. My son is always besides me. He loves me and he loves my company. That's the reason you always see him around me or around the camera when I'm filming. He really enjoying the love of his dad. He's called Braden. He's called Darren. For the new viewers, and Braden is our first born, but this one he's called Darren. He's the second born. So here I am entering inside the house to remove the remaining cows that are the bulls and other one, which is a female one, to make sure I'm taking them to the grazing point. So that's the reason you're seeing the camera steady. So they are also coming out of this side. These are the small two bulls that we are trying to teach them on how to plow when they are big enough like the other ones. So these are the two big ones, this one, and there is another one that will come last, the red one. They are the two big bulls that we are using for cultivating or plowing. The other female does not have a young one. This is the other bull that I was talking all about. To the grazing point, we don't have the poles that we are going to tie our cows on, because you cannot just leave them barely. They will just go to our neighboring and our neighbors' shambas to eat the maize, because there are a lot of maize plantation there. So I have to make some poles, and the poles are quite long because it's raining. The land is very soft. They have to go deep down the soil for them to be very hard, not to be pulled out, so that the cows can maybe interfere with our maize that are nearby, or any other neighbor's maize. So like right now I'm making some good poles that I'm going to tie them on it. Sometimes the cows are
It's
standing
now
as if they
time
know
for
where
us
they're
to
heading,
part with the cows
but back in their
and
mind,
take them
you find
to
that they
their
know where they're
grazing
heading. They
point.
know it's time for them
With
to
me
go and
here, I'm
graze.
going to open the gate for them,
So they're just
and I
standing
will
around,
also
waiting for the main gate
be
to be
going
opened for
with
them,
them to
so
their
that they
grazing points.
can go and graze. And here we have the poles. As you know, you have to put down the poles so that you can tie them on. In that, we avoid them going to our neighboring shambas. The most productive part that you get from the cows, guys, most of the female one, it's harvesting milk. And in order for you to harvest more milk, you have to make sure that they graze more, they get satisfied so that they can give you more milk. So as a father and a responsible man back in the community and back in our home, I always take care of my cows. After our black beauty Houston, Steve, my wife, milks, I bring them to a grazing point. Here is an abandoned place where our fellow farmer has not planted, has not plowed also because of more rainfall. And now we are using this part as grazing land. You can see there is plenty of grasses here so that they can take the grass. When they are satisfied, maybe at a time I'll come and exchange them to another place so that they continue feeding until the time that it's ready for them to go back to their sleeping point. Farming is one of the major activity that we usually do back in the community and back in the village, more so in the rural areas, because we have got plenty of land to cultivate. And also the major cash crop and food crop that we usually grow as farmers, it's maize. In the entire village, more so the land that you're seeing over here, everywhere you can see farmers has planted a lot of maize. It's circulating everywhere, you see, because maize is the major food crop and also cash crop. So like right now is the rainy season, more so the long rain season. Farmers, we expect plenty of rain, and as you know very well, rain it's the most productive part of the crops. But when rains are so much, also farmers we expect some losses because the maize will not do well. More so during farming, you may have to make sure that you make big furrows that will be draining water down. As right now you can see like this furrow here, it's draining plenty of water downstream to a main stream that collects all the water to the lake Victoria. So furrows are the things that usually helps us to do what? To drain the water down, more so in the farms. So when you are cultivating, you make sure that the places are very much raised so that the furrows can drain water from the shambas or from the farms downstream. The most promising thing for a farmer is when you tour your garden and get that your crops are doing very well. Like to my case here, you can see my maize are growing very healthy, regardless that I have not added any manure on them. But you can see they are doing very well. So this is a well raised place where the water are being drained down, and also where furrows are well created so that they can sweep out water from the land. For your crops to grow very healthy and promising, sometimes you have to apply manure on them. Like to our case in our farm, yesterday we were applying manure. You can spot the white things over there are the manure. So we have different types of application of manure. Some farmers intend to just smear it close to the farms without even covering them, but unfortunately, like to our case yesterday, we did it a very small portion of land, but we never hoped that the rains could rain tonight, yesternight, but unfortunately the rains. Now there comes a risk where you get that the manure is swept out with water after raining without making use to the crops, you see. But to some sections we intend to cover them with some slight soil so that when rains they cannot just even have a sweep away to our manure. Like in the case of this section of land, after we smeared everything, we had to cover the soil close to the manure. You can spot a white thing over here, that is manure, but it's somehow covered with the soil. So it's a guarantee that your manure will do well and will not be swept away by the rains. In farming, weeding is done in different ways, more so to our area, because I can see like right now there is an application of herbicides that usually helps us to cultivate and to weed, to kill the weeds in big hectares of land, because we came to realize that manpower sometimes it's not promising, because you find that people are very scarce and the jobs are very more. So in the time that you get them to come and do weeding for you to your land, you find that it's quite late and the crops are almost being killed by the weeds. So like to our side, in our section, we decided to use a colopa herbicides that you can see it's killing very well and leaving the maize to grow healthier. So the colopa is a selector which cannot kill maize, but it selects the weeds only. And unfortunately, when you happen to mix mixed farming, maybe like you mix the beans inside and the maize, which is practiced more in our places, the colopa cannot make it well because it will kill the beans also and select the maize, not killing the maize. So to our side, we use the colopa and it has really made well, and it has killed the weeds very well. Here comes now the disadvantage of more rainfall, where you can see the maize are trying to turn yellow because of much of rainfall, and they are also experiencing stunted growth because of much rainfall, more so to the places that holds water. To our side, you find our place, it's a clay soil, so it's a mixture of loam and clay soil. Sometimes it doesn't drain water. You know, the capillarity of the soil and drainage of the soil also matters a lot to when farming. Like our side, drainage it's quite poor because the water are just floating up on the soil, making our maize to have a stunted growth. Even though we have applied some manure on them, but they are still experiencing stunted growth because of much rainfall. Now here is the disadvantage of much rainfall. To some other sections, as a farmer, when you tour your garden, actually you have to smile because of the promising growth that you observe your maize growing very well and doing very well. More so to this section of part, our maize are really growing very well and doing very well. We have even noticed them, some are almost even flowering, which means very soon we are gonna have the maize or the cobs outside. You see, like this one here, it's almost flowering, and as it flowers, you see there is a sign of a cob coming outside. You see, so this is the most enjoyable and very promising part and very happy moment of a farmer when you tour your farm and you find that the maize are promising and you're gonna expect a very huge harvest to your land. Sometimes, guys, back in the village, we practice like planting vegetables and everything. So like right now we plant the skuma wiki for as a cash crop, then we sell. Sometimes it's a food crop also, as a cash crop also, then we sell to the market for the people to buy. So right now we are receiving plenty of rainfall. The kales are doing in every shamba, so meaning the demand is quite low and the supply is high. You see, so right now our kales are very much healthy and are doing well. But back in the compound we have our chicks and we want them practice taking the kales. So today is the first day I'm going to try them to see whether they're gonna take the kales. So I will be harvesting the kales, I go give them, then we see whether they will take it, guys. For the start, I think we are going to go with these. We try them whether they're gonna take. When they take, I think I'll be mixing the food now with the kales so that they always be taking it, guys. Yeah. Sometimes, guys, we have to treat our chickens locally. We don't treat, but we prevent them. At the moment that, like right now, it's rainy season, so we have to make sure that we have all the preventive measures to spread the diseases inside the chicken farm.
Tengenezea mtoto mguu.
So in our compound, guys, we are privileged to have an aloe vera plant, and I think we are gonna plant it more. So we have an aloe vera plant in our compound. So this is what we are gonna use to treat our chicks. think this one is enough. Yeah. Oh, Baba. Thank you for helping me. Nikatoka chimuki. Nganyuma kitu mkiwanza. Nganyuma kitu mkiwanza ndani. This is one of the idea from our subscriber, and also I have been watching it from one of the YouTube channel. In order to be successful and you do something quality, sometimes you have to watch other YouTube channels, what your fellows are doing, so that you apply it to your place. Because sometimes it's quite costly for you to purchase the medicine, and you have the things that you can use manually in your compound. Acha baba. So, clap your hands. Yeah, I have these. Papa. So this is our collection. I think we're gonna soak it with water now, so that we leave it for a while. Then when it's ready, we'll be giving it to the chicks. So here's where we're gonna soak it and leave it. Yeah. Because of the kid, I'll be putting it in a private place so that he doesn't do what? Touch it. So, as you know very well, we have to disinfect our food pit before we enter inside our house. So, here we have the disinfectant 3-in-1 maximum syringe. You can see it's here. So this is what we use in disinfecting our house and also disinfecting our food pit before we enter inside our house. And one thing you have noticed that our chicks have grown big. When you enter inside, they try to peck on your nails, the legs. So you have to go inside with your gumboots, you see. So in order to get inside with the gumboots, you have to make sure you disinfect this place. You dip in your legs, then you go in. So let's disinfect our place. So we will be measuring. Unfortunately, I haven't shaked before I open. So when you shake, so it's good to shake. And one funny man once was being given a medicine to give the baby before shaking. So unfortunately, he forgotten to shake the medicine before giving the baby. So he gave the baby. Oh, he remembered, oh my God, I never shake the medicine when I was giving the baby. So he touched the baby, the hands and the legs. So he was shaking the baby. Somebody happened to see him. What are you doing? I forgot to check the medicine well, before giving the baby. So what are you doing? I'm shaking the baby so that the medicine can be shaken. So our disinfectant is fully shaken. I think we're gonna go with the 10 milliliters to 2, okay? That one is full. Okay. Another one. Yeah. Because it's rainy season and we have to make sure that our chicks are very well, very well secured with medicines, secured with pests and diseases. So that's how it is. And I think I will be starting the yeah, after starting now you can see our disinfectant, it's colored now. the water is colored, meaning that it's very well. So after we are over, we will be covering it up this way, and we will be putting some stones on the other sides to make sure that here is my kills that I want to give them, and I also have to disinfect again. So this is the daily routine that we do, guys. I'm not doing it because of the camera, but we also do it. So our Black Beauty also will be doing it because she's the camera person. Some safety and precautions you have to take them. You don't have to neglect them, because you might neglect something and abandon something. You might that you are interfering the whole project. Cindy? So let's not take things for granted, and we make sure that we are doing everything perfectly.
But I think we have a special boots
For going inside. Okay. So before you enter inside, you have to dip your boots inside. I think that is okay. I will be taking my case in. So also you'll be dipping yours. Yeah. So you can see our chicks are here now. They have grown very big, guys. That's one thing you can notice. They have grown very big. So even the water that we gave them, it is complete. So it's good that we have put the medicine, we have soaked the medicine. As we give them food, we will also giving them the water that we have given the medicine. We have put the medicine inside. See there? Yeah. So the water are over. So before we give them water, I think these are the things that we are going to use to tie the case. We see whether they will take. Because we have never given them the case, we are going to try it for the first time. We see whether they can. Because they are very hungry, we haven't given them food. That's the reason I want to try it first. You see? So I don't know whether they will take it or not. Firstly, they are even stranded. What is this? But what we'll do, we'll just leave them there. With time, we'll see whether they will take it. See there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me tie the other one also there. If they don't take it when it's there, what I'll do, I'll just cut it in the small portions and mix it with food. You see? So when they are taking food, the way I did it to take the sardines rings. they are quite new in the environment. They have not been exposed so much to such kind of things. So you have to make sure that they are learning to take everything. So let's just leave the tails there. But with time, I know they will just take it. Let's just leave it. You see? Kama hii inaanza kunini. Specking.
Yeah. Mpaka saa 8.
Yeah. Having a supportive wife sometimes is a privilege. She's always here helping me to wash the feeders and the drinkers. Wow. This is a daily routine that we take to our chickens. We have to wash the drinkers and the feeders because you find them, they are very dirty. Most of the drinkers, because water sleeps inside the whole day, they try to be stinking. So you have to wash them and let them dry. Yeah, I think it's good when we work from the inside. Okay. I always prefer working from this section because when I work from the other side, they are so stubborn. They usually come close to me thinking that I'm giving them food. So, you can see they just want even to jump inside. So, as I told you, we have a fine mixture of aloe vera plant, and we even boiled it for it to have a very fine mixture. So we will be adding it inside this water so that we'll be treating our chickens with it. Okay, close. Yeah, that one is okay now. I think for the remix, because I'm going to use this sufria to put the water here, I'll just put it here so that I'll take it to the dustbin. Yeah. So let me now feed the This is also medicine for human beings. You can boil the aloe vera and you drink it. It's a good. That one is ready. Let's put it here. It's okay now. This one needs to be transported already here because it doesn't have a place to sit. So I'll be putting it already here. So they can keep on enjoying the water. It seems that they were thirsty. They are even taking plenty of water. See? And let me take the other ones now. One will be placed here. One will be placed here. But meantime, I'm going to tie them up, these other ones, with the ropes here, so that when they are securing the food, they don't feed them. Now it's time to feed them, guys. Firstly, for the feeds, I started sudden remains. Here they are. And it's now getting over. I think it should go on Thursday, which will be on the market day. I will be going to purchase more. Yeah. So these are what I started. It's like laying the foundation. They're so hungry. They're even checking on my fingers. They are overcrowding to one place.
They are jumping on another's back.
So When I feel these things, these feeders, I think they are 5. I purchased one. We have the 4 feeders, 1, 2, 3, 4. I added one because they are growing big and they are overcrowding one place. You see, they are overcrowding one place. So when they are taking now, I think some others will be going to other sites. You just leave them. They know how they eat themselves. You see, so they are overcrowding. So I decided to add this other one, and I think I'm also supposed to add 2 big ones because the chicks are growing very big. You see, so when we brought them very small, they could overcrowd here, but they were still very slim. You know, they could fit there. But the more they are growing broad and big, unakuta zina overcrowd na zina banana. That's the reason you see others jumping on others' backs. You see? So for the drinkers, I think right now you have to raise them at a raised feet so that this is yeah. I think I can tie.
They are even laying down while eating.
Yeah. They sit down while eating. So when I feed these things to the top, like the way I have just feed them to the top, this is enough for the day. They will take it for the day. You see? That's so much enough for the day. Now it's time to feed. Everyone is very busy eating. See? No noise, no more noise now. Very busy eating. Yeah. This is the most interesting part of them. After feeding now, guys, you can see they're relaxing, meaning now they're almost getting satisfied, but still some are still feeding. You see? Yeah. They are now even not running towards me, babe. Because they are satisfied. You see? So let's give them time to relax, at least to play, and let's call it a day for today. Fungwa. Haya. Sukuma ndani. Ngumu. Yeah. Oh. They always cover this place, not to allow contamination. That way. And you know very well, our house is very well ventilated. There is fresh air inside. You cannot even detect that there is chicks inside here because there is no any smell, unique smell coming from outside. The house is very well ventilated. See? Somebody was asking me, is there a mesh? You can see there is a very small mesh and the big mesh here. You see? This is the net, the netting one. And the mesh. The bigger one and the small one inside. And the covers, during rainfall, we unwrap them down. Plus the other sides also the same way. So, and we are calling it a day, guys. From my side, I'm Chacha Steve, and from the other side,
I'm Houston Steve.
Yeah, go check her YouTube channel, guys, and also consider subscribing for the new viewers. And for the returning viewers, we appreciate for always coming and watching our YouTube videos. We appreciate much for your concern and for everything. Don't forget to subscribe to Marceline J. Yeah, Marceline J, our sister who is growing her other YouTube channel. Guys. And our son here, Darren. Kimbia. Baba, mmekimbia mpaka kwa mama na dadi. Hujui dadi? Na dadi? Na dadi? Come on. Say hi, guys. Kopoa. Nini? Nini? So thank you guys. This is my last born, acting last born, Darren. So bye bye guys, until next time.